Yeah,
Can you go to the chair and then we'll sit up here?
well, but we need to be near this thing here, like, hold on a second.
Good evening. Welcome to the September 13th Commission on Disabilities meeting. We will, if we could start with the Pledge of Allegiance. We're still waiting for a few of members to join us. So we can go ahead and start anyway. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we actually start our official meeting, not sure if everyone here knows, but the city received some sad news on Sunday that the city had lost one of our counselors, counselor at large, George Rotundo Jr. He's been a counselor for about 2 decades in Revere. The city of Revere is a counselor at large. So the city wants to send out, the city sent out their sympathy along with the Commission on Disabilities to his family and friends. So at this time, I would just ask for a moment of silence for the memories of George Rotundo Jr. Thank you. So what we're going to do, we are going to do a roll call of the members. Pauline Perno's texted me. She is in the high school and having some internet problems to get onto the Zoom. So she's trying to put it on Zoom, and if she can get through, she'll get through. So the roll call of members: Ralph DeChico, I am present. Asma?
Present.
Present. I don't want to butcher your last name because I always butcher it. So I know I get your last name perfect, so I'll say your last name. That next I have Mario.
Present.
Present. Jason Barone.
Present.
And Robert Brown. I know he's on here. He's just got his phone on mute. So Robert Brown, whenever you can tell us that you're present, you'll be present.
I'm present. I'm sorry. I'm
No
present.
problem. No
We were just
problem
saying,
at all.
wow,
The other thing is that Sophia was supposed to join us again tonight. She sent me an email that she's here, so I don't know if she's having problems getting online, but she was supposed to join us, so maybe she will still join us. But if not, she may. I'm actually receiving a text, so I can take a look who it is after. But what I'm going to do is we had the roll call of the members. Item 1 was a motion to approve the meeting minutes from September, from our August meeting. I sent out the minutes from that meeting to everyone. I know Asma might have a correction that has to be changed in it before we could make a motion to approve it. So is there something that was missing, or you want me to change it a little bit?
Yes, I think I saw something when you sent it the agenda last month. Just 1 second. Yeah, I don't have it in front of me right now, so I'm so sorry.
Was it with the bringing back the Special Olympics and Young Athletes program?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, was there any more you wanted added to that?
We didn't mention it on the meeting. Yeah, the agenda, yes. Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
in the,
yeah,
it's
okay.
it's in the notes. It says this at the next CPAC meeting was September 22nd in the Irish Learning Card. It was mentioned that people are looking forward to bringing back the Special Olympics and the Young Athletics program.
Yeah.
And Pauline mentioned an all-inclusive facility in Dedham, Mass, specifically designed for persons with special needs. And she was looking forward to trying to make a field trip down there.
Yeah,
Um,
that's okay. Yeah,
is that okay? That's what's in the
Yeah.
notes.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
that okay? Do you need anything else added to it?
No, that's perfect. I didn't see it. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, we put it under the CPAC. It's all rolled into the CPAC because it basically fell into that, because that's when I think we opened it up for discussion. That's when it was
Yeah.
mentioned. So she put it right then and there.
Yeah, because
As long
I
as
was
that's okay.
thinking, okay, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, because we wanted to bring the Special Olympic, like I mentioned before, to
Yeah.
especially the winter's coming and the kids can't
Yeah.
able to go. Yeah, so we wanted to add it.
Okay,
Thank you.
no
Thank you.
problem.
Thank you
Okay.
so much. Yeah.
If I can have a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Motion to
Motion.
approve.
Okay, I have a motion from Jason and a second by Asma. Was that correct?
Yes,
That's
correct.
Okay. Let me see, I'm doing dual roll right now, so I just want to write it down. And next to is any updates and next steps from the August meeting. The first one was update from Pauline regarding developing the calendar for guest speakers at our monthly meetings. That one we're gonna have to table unless she can get online. We'll table that one till our next meeting, unless she can get the internet and get onto the Zoom. So we'll just table that one. The next one was an update from myself regarding research. If I could have found any research and information about comfort dogs from agencies such as the Red Cross. I was able to get a contact name of an agency, which is called Lydia Comfort Dogs, that I believe helps support the comfort animals through the Red Cross. I had sent that information to Robert and Pauline, an email and that contact information to them. So I don't know if Pauline was able to work on it or take a look at it, but I had sent that along. So we're in the process of trying to find out how they do handle that, but it looks like that they do. They do have a resource for that. The next update that I have, Robert, did you receive that email from me?
I did, sir. And
Okay.
I plan on coordinating with Sophia about
Okay.
taking care of seeing what we can do to provide her a spot, just to assist us and to
No,
see
I'm
if
talking
it
about
is.
the comfort dogs right now.
Oh, no, I have not.
Okay, but did you get that email from me with that person that I named Lydia Comfort Dog?
Yes, let me check it while we're on the phone.
Yeah, no worries about it.
Yeah.
If you don't, just email me back and let me know and I can send it to you again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. The next thing is just an update that I mentioned last month regarding the state grants for hybrid and remote meetings. That was in the state budget that the legislature approved for cities and towns to be able to apply for grants to help fund for hybrid and remote meetings, for public meetings. Unfortunately, Governor Baker vetoed that line item for money in the state budget that was established by the legislature for cities and towns to apply for grants. But there is a big push on different agencies right now to have that veto overturned. So I'm following that closely. So if there's any updates in the future meetings, I'll let everyone know. That was a big letdown that he did veto that, because that would have been moving us in the right direction with allowing access to everyone for meetings that could not attend in person, depending on their disabilities, family situations, childcare, or not being able to make the time commitment to be there in person at a meeting. So I don't know if anybody had any questions about that, or if anyone did see that it was vetoed.
Do we know why he would veto that? That just seems very.
No explanation. No explanation was given by the governor's office to anyone, including a lot of the agencies that were pushing for it, that had the legislature put it into the budget. So there's no
I-
answers for it at all, why it was vetoed.
Well, his office is very difficult to get hold of. I call all the times for things, and I'm just like, this is messed up. I mean, this dude, I don't know. I don't know if he just doesn't care he's going out, or, you know, it just seems, I don't know, he just seems to be out of it. I don't know if there's a, you know, I know he's gone through a lot, and I don't mean just a pandemic. I mean, you know, they had a guy harassing the family and stuff, and the guy broke in his house. So I don't know. I don't even know what to say. It just seems very counterintuitive to his normal thought process.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you'll get a better answer if you reach out directly. You never know. You know, you have a better chance.
I just wanted to let everyone know Sophia's on here. She was stuck in the attendees room. Hi, Sophia. Can you hear me?
Sorry. Yeah, so I just want to let you know I'm on the bus right now, so I'm gonna mute myself so it's not that noise, but I am listening to everything.
Yeah,
you're
no
saying.
problem. I seen that you were in the attendees, cause so I just added you into the meeting, but this way you can listen. So I just noticed that you were in there, so I just pulled you into the main room. But thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay. Does anyone have any other comments about the hybrid meetings, or do you want, I can move on to item number 3. And item number 3 is the CPAC's August updates, if there was any, in the September, October events. Robert, I'm not sure if you had any August updates, but you had forwarded me the September events. So if there's no August updates, if you want, I can briefly discuss the September one. If you can't, just let me know.
Yes, there was no updates for August. And yeah, I sent you the flyers for our September 22nd meeting.
Yeah.
So
And
as of right now, that's what we have scheduled. We were trying to plan a Halloween party, and we're just trying to coordinate with the Park and Recs because they're having an event
Right.
in October. I know
Yeah.
it's a little far, but just to give you like a quick basis of what we were trying to do. But as of right now, it's just the September 22nd basic school year introduction.
Yeah, and if you want, I can read the information, date and time and where, if you want, if that's.
Yeah,
if you want to do
that'd be
that.
perfect.
Yeah, so what it is CPAC is going to be hosting an event called Join the Conversation, which you can, I'm going to try and actually see if I can share my screen so I can put it right up. Let me see if it will allow me to do this. Share screen. Let me see if it will allow me to. There we go. So this is the event that they're going to be hosting. I can also put it up in a couple of other languages in a few minutes. It's join the conversation, ask questions, stay informed, learn more about Revere CPAC. It's going to be held on Thursday, September 22nd at 6 p.m. at the Revere High School Learning Commons, or live on Zoom. The meeting ID and passcode. You can RSVP cpacrevere@gmail.com by September 16th. I'm also going to be putting these flyers on the Revere Commission on Disabilities Facebook page. Asma, I'm going to put the one up in Arabic if you want to possibly read that one. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Let me just change my screen. Hold on one second.
Like I can also just kind of like I can also kind of post these flyers around like my area too because I live in Revere, but I also go to school in Saugus, so I can also put up some flyers around there too.
Just trying to open my window big.
Sorry, I'm not sure if anyone heard me, but I said that if you guys would like to, I can also put up some flyers like around like my area since I also live in
Okay.
Revere.
Okay.
Or I can put some around like my school or like the flyers around my school. It's in Saugus, but I feel like it's really close to Revere, so I feel like a lot of parents will still be interested in like going. Or, like people in my school, like with their parents, like with disabilities, they will also be interested in going to the thing too.
I'm just trying to get it to change on my screen.
I can see the Arabic flyer now. Yeah.
You can see, oh, there we go. Perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So المجلس الاستشاري لأولياء الأمور للتربية الخاصة أو للأطفال ذوي الاحتياجات الخاصة. يمكنك الانضمام إلينا عبر المحادثة لطرح الأسئلة والتبقى على اطلاع. يوم الخميس الموافق 22 من سبتمبر الساعة 6 مساء في مدرسة ريفير الثانوية ريفير هاي سكول عن طريق الزوم. في هذا الإعلان موجود رقم الاجتماع وكلمة المرور عبر الزوم. يرجى الرد على هذه الدعوة في موعد أقصاه يوم 16/9 على الإيميل المرفق بهذا الإعلان. شكرا.
Thank you, Asma. Robert, you don't speak Spanish, or anybody speak Spanish on the panel here? So what I'm gonna, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna briefly put up the Spanish one, just so that they can see it in Spanish, and the one in Portuguese, so that they'll be able to see that one too. So 1 second. My mouse is not working well. So the Portuguese one is going to come on momentarily. That should come on in 1 second.
I can see it. Yeah, yeah, it's yeah.
Okay, and this is the same flyer in Portuguese for any of our Portuguese residents to read it. And put it a second there for that one. And now I'll put it a Spanish one up. If it switches. Close this one. Okay, let me just reshare it. And the one for Spanish should come right on in a second. There's just a little bit of a delay. There we go. And that's the same flyer in Spanish for residents that speak Spanish. We want to be multilingual here. Might not be able to speak it, but at least we have it for them to read. And like I said, it's going to be on the Commission on Disabilities Facebook page. These flyers, all 4 of these flyers. Okay. Let me stop sharing the screen. And what I will do, Sophia, is I will email the flyers to you. I don't know if like you use any social media or anything that you'll be able to send them to. They're in a JPEG format. Is there, and so right now Robert, you're just waiting to see if anything else is going to be possibly planned for October. As of right now, it's just the September event for the meeting.
Correct.
Okay.
As of right now, we want, I plan on reaching out to Park and Recs to see if it would be beneficial or possible in that matter to maybe do a joint event. But we're still trying to, it's still early in the talking.
Okay. All right, perfect. Next is item 4, is CODA, which is the Commission on Disabilities Alliance monthly Zoom meeting that I had on September 7th. We had a couple of different discussions. One discussion in question regarding if there are any governances under the ADA for taxi cab companies because of discrimination such as service animals being allowed in vehicles. What was mentioned is this is covered under Title III under the ADA, and it's illegal for them to discriminate for service animals. So a taxi cab company cannot say that you cannot come into a cab if you have a service animal. I guess that was going on in some cities and towns. Also, the town of Fall River mentioned an issue with the cab company service in their town, stating that it's 24/7, but only provided service for people in wheelchairs until 5 p.m. So this is discriminatory if a cab company has the equipment and manpower to be able to provide the service 24 hours also. In layman's terms, what this means is if they can provide it till 5 p.m., if they have the equipment such as a vehicle that has a chairlift on it, and they have a cab driver that can drive, then that cab driver should be driving that vehicle that's handicap accessible with a chairlift rather than driving a cab that does not have a chairlift. And that, so this way that cab can accommodate any type of a person with any type of mobility. So what they try to work on is trying to add that to their taxi licenses that they have for taxi cabs. We don't have that issue in Revere. Like one person mentioned, you can call the ride, but we all know how unreliable the ride can be. We don't really have to cross that bridge right now, but we all know how unreliable it is. And if there's a cab company in your city that does have that capabilities, that they shouldn't be segregating that only certain hours that they could be, they will pick up people in a wheelchair.
Well, taxis can be more expensive. I mean, the ride would be better if you use Ride Flex. That will help. And if you have access to Lyft and Uber outside of that, it's still cheaper than a cab. Cabs are very expensive, and typically you'll say 5 to 20 minutes, and typically sometimes they've done even more. I know one lady, they told her 45 minutes or an hour.
Yeah.
So, there's just, the cost prohibitiveness can be ridiculous. So, it's just something another tool. And I know what you mean. Like the ride is not always, they've made some mistakes, and they're still making the mistakes when it comes to putting in the information, because when they submit the information to Lyft and Uber, I still think the concierge side of it for them is botched because of the GPS. And I think somebody in California is looking at that, and they don't understand where addresses are. Because an example, where I work, it's right off the ramp of Route 3. So what ends up happening is when you get off there, my office is, if you miss the first turn, which is on Newberry, then you have to turn on Newport Avenue Extension. If you don't, it tries to bring them over to the Chinese food place, which is on the other side of Newport
It's not
Avenue.
that bad, right?
Oh,
if
it's
you're
bad. Oh,
If
that's
you're
bad.
hungry- No, if you're hungry, it's not that bad.
Oh, no. But if you missed my office, oh yeah, no, I agree. If you're hungry, but you missed my office, then you're stuck
Yeah,
because you can't make the left turn over there.
right. You gotta go all the way
Uh,
around. Yeah.
Yeah, under that. I don't know who came up with this rotary stuff and who came up with this, because this is the most disorganized area. I just can't even fathom. No wonder we have horrible drivers up here. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously. I mean,
You go to
messed
other
up.
parts of the country, they don't know what a rotary is.
Well, yeah, no, you're right. I mean, but they also don't know how to handle it, even when they do know what it is.
Yeah.
People, I mean, I don't know.
The other thing with a rotary too is such a big inconvenience with people with a disability if you need to cross
Yes.
an area, because you really have to go out of your way to get to an intersection that will have a light and a crosswalk, such as the end of Broadway 107 intersection. If you needed to, let's say, if you had mobility issues and you lived on the lower end of Broadway and you wanted to go to Wendy's, and you say you were in a wheelchair and you like to be self-sufficient and do things yourself, there's no way you can cross over there. You have to go all the way down to basically the Charger Street entrance to cross at the light, because you cannot do any turns there. But if there wasn't a rotary and it was a regular intersection, you'd have a crosswalk and a light there that you'd be able to cross.
Maybe that's time we need to start thinking about all that. I mean, there's
Yeah.
too many people living here for this stuff. I mean, you have 7 million plus growing all the time. New
Yeah.
IDs issued all the time. You know, this is kind of what Georgia
And
goes through.
you can get rid of rotaries, just as a perfect example where you get rid of the big roundabout rotaries is two places, is in Everett, Wellington Circle, Everett, Medford there. The Target at the Target area and past the Target area, the Cappy's area. Those used to be big rotaries that they basically cut into them and put intersections with lights. There's a big thing going on with the Wellington area right now too, for more road work to be done there that I'm on a committee for, because they want to make sure that it's accessible for people to be able to walk without having to go a distance.
Well, it also impacts housing. When you think about it, we don't have affordable housing for those with disabilities. It's more complex because when you don't drive a vehicle,
Mhm.
the cost prohibitiveness, if you ever really do the housing look, whether you
Yeah.
purchase, rent, or anything, is ridiculous.
Right.
Because when you look at it, you're looking at, and I did my homework because obviously, we have that issue with the house. So when you look at it, and what I found out, so people that are comfortable, whether they're from the US or from another country, they just pay whatever the rent is, they don't care. And then you've got hospitals paying for the guarantee, not the monthly, but the guarantee to put the people in, and they get roommates. These people are like, they're doing their studies and stuff to become doctors or nurses even at some points. And so they can cover the rent. And then you've got people that are, scientists and other people that they can just afford it, so they don't care. And then you've got companies buying up all these things, and then they leave places empty, which drives up the price.
Right.
So of course, what does that do? That affects your transitability and other things. So, they want people to live in Boston, but you can't afford it, or even somewhere around it, which is expensive.
Right. Anything that touches Boston gets more expensive.
Yeah, you're exactly correct. You are correct. Even Revere, to some level, that happens. I mean, it's unless you go out to the west side of it.
Right. Asma, did you want to say something on that?
Yes, I
I
wanted
can
to
tell.
bring
Yeah.
I wanted to bring something related to the cross on the lottery. So I want to bring something that I heard complain from the resident that living on the corner of the Fenno Street and Borden Street. So when the cars come up to the hill, didn't stop because the stop sign, it doesn't clear there, and also there is no crosswalk.
Mhm.
So it's so dangerous for the resident who like disability or on wheelchair, and also for
Send
the
me an
kids.
email on what that street is, and then I can talk to Julie tomorrow about it. Just
Okay.
send me an email what streets they are. Certain places they don't put crosswalks, but I
Yeah.
can find out. Yeah, but send me an email on that and
Yeah,
what the
thank
cross
you.
streets are, and I'll follow up with Julie about that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. The other thing that we discussed at the CODA meeting was the town of Concord mentioned that they now have 2 adaptive bikes included in their share program, and they're 3-wheeled trikes. So they have their ride share program. You know how we have the blue bikes in Revere, but they have 2 adaptive bikes, which are trikes, the 3-wheel bikes for people with disabilities to be able to rent. So that's something that's great, you know. So, but you know, there's people with mobility issues that wouldn't be able to ride them. But it's a step in the right direction. It's definitely a step in the right direction. Then another discussion that came about at that meeting was discussions regarding how some cities and towns are having issues finding anyone to serve on the commissions, or in a couple of communities that they asked me not to name their city or town. They have people that have sent in applications to be on their town commissions, but their powers that be in the city are not confirming them for whatever reason. So they're not allowing people to come on to their commission on disabilities. There's been people that have applied that have been waiting well over a year to be placed on their commission on disabilities. And you know, that seems like that doesn't sound good at all. You know, they have people willing to serve on their commission, willing to help out, and they're having all kinds of issues. So there's internal discussions with people from CODA to see who they can reach out to get that done. Because if you know, you always want people that are willing to help out on the Commission on Disabilities to do what is right for all people with all aspects of disabilities in your city or town.
Right. Well, that applies to the employment side as well. The difficulty is proving this stuff most of the time and getting people to recognize it. That's the problem.
Exactly.
That's why employers, you know.
One other thing that now that you mentioned that, one other thing that I want to let people know, that when you apply for a job, you do not have to disclose that you have a disability at that time. What you can do is, if you are offered the job, then you can disclose you have a disability. Let them offer you the job first, because then if they change their mind and say, no, we can't offer you the job, then that's being discriminatory, and then you have a case against them.
Right.
But there's no law or jurisdiction that says when you apply for a job, you have to disclose that you have a disability.
No. The trick is what you do, and what I found the trick is, you're right, you don't disclose until you're offered the job. The other trick is on the application, what you do, where it talks about veteran status, all that stuff. You check off that box, because that way you've covered yourself. You don't have to talk about it, and you get credit and they get tax credit in the future, because when they pull it, then that helps the reports and helps the numbers to show who's getting hired, who isn't. And when people don't disclose things, it makes it more difficult. But it's also people not being afraid to ask the truth about what can be offered or what can be done. Yeah. But you also have issues.
Because I've gotten some calls, especially with some young adults that are on the autism spectrum, that were not hired for jobs because they disclosed that they had a disability, and they said, we can't take the responsibility of hiring you. That's being very discriminatory.
Well, of course they're going to say that. Well, you know, the attorneys, you know why, if you ever pull jobs, and this might help you, pull some of the jobs, like even where Mario worked. Okay, you know what they would do, and this is illegal to do this, but this is what they do. They pay attorneys to learn this stuff. So what they did is, with some of the jobs, they'll put on there that says driver's license required. Well, you can't do that if job is the only way that is legal is if the job is driving a bus, driving the van, driving, that physically requires. Now his job,
transporting product or people is the only way.
Exactly. Right. Unless what you can do, you have other options. Like his place, they would tell him, oh, you have to have the license because you got to take people places. No, you can take the T, you can take the ride, you have cabs, there's options. The places have to learn that this is wrong.
Expect to do that, it's like it's.
But that's not how it is. That's illegal, and people need to start waking. No, but you can transport a client in a T. You can take a lift. You don't need a license to do that. That's what they're talking about. Is if you drive a tractor trailer, you drive a bus, you drive a T, you drive a train, that requires a license because
or a special license. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. This does not require that, and they can't say that. They're only doing it so people can't apply for the job, because once they make an essential function when it really isn't, that's what keeps people from being able to apply or get them disqualified automatically.
Right.
Which is what the attorneys are teaching them to get around the ADA. So we need to do something about that in Mass too, to take that out, because that's abuse.
Exactly.
Exactly. Right.
The last thing that I wanted to mention that we talked about at the CODA meeting is the Disability Policy Consortium, the DPC, who is the one that runs our monthly CODA meetings, mentioned that they're going to be hosting a virtual legislative advocacy workshop on September 29th. And anyone interested can go to their website, which is www.dpcma.org. So it's an legislative advocacy workshop that's going to teach people all different aspects of advocacy work. So if anybody's interested, you can just go right to www.dpcma.org to find more information about that. So I just wanted to pass that on to the commission members and anybody in the city that was interested in finding out more information about that. Item number 6 is just to mention that the Commission on Disabilities is still looking to fill a vacancy. You can go to the city's website under the Human Resources page, and there'll be information on there on how you can fill out an application to become a member on the Commission on Disabilities. Next, item number 7 is communications. We did not receive any communications. Item number 8 is if any commission members had any late items that they wanted to discuss that we didn't get sent to me in time for this meeting. So does any commission members have anything that they wanted to bring up to discuss?
Social Security at this point, just to give a heads up, the Malden office is in a lot of trouble. They did bring on a new will person from Boston, but it needs a lot of improvement. And Social Security at this point, Massachusetts is the last of all states about how they handle Social Security cases. To even get through is just atrocious.
Yeah, I've been waiting months and months.
Yeah, they're not even responsible. They don't answer the phones. They play games.
If you call, the phone line will disconnect on you, or it will transfer you, and after about 20 minutes you're waiting, it disconnects on you.
Right. And
then if somebody does happen to pick up by mistake, they disconnect you.
Yep. And they're just rude though.
And then you get letters from the main Social Security that you're in trouble for this and that. And they tell you to reach out to the main number, and then when you call the main number, they tell you have to call your local office, and they don't want to hear that you've been trying to call the local office.
Right.
I've been dealing with this for about 10 to 12 months now.
Right. From what I've been told, apparently, Social Security as a whole lost between about 27 to 30% of their workforce. And what I've also heard is they want to get lazy because they're saying they want to work from home, but you can't work from home because you can't do that much work from home because you're not allowed to bring any of the files away. So how are you going to get anything done?
Now you have a connection that you're talking to from Social Security, or no?
Yeah, I do.
Right, we'll talk offline.
Yeah, I do talk to, she basically works for the state and then is a government, what you call it. Yeah.
I'll talk to you offline about that.
Yeah, because it's definitely, it's gotten out of control. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. I mean, this
Yeah.
is abuse. I mean, and this is something that I don't know if anyone is running into those issues. And then when you got to start getting politicians involved, you shouldn't have to do that.
No, I'm running it myself personally. I've been in the issues.
Yeah,
I've had a couple of people call me with the same thing, and then if you try calling a different office, they tell you we can't help you. You have to call your local office.
right. Well, the trick is you have to put your address. Well, we'll talk about it offline, but there's a couple tricks around that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Problem, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that information, though. That's very helpful for our residents to know about. Anyone else have anything else that they wanted to add that wasn't on the agenda? All right. Since there's none, item number 9 was residents' concerns and issues. We did not have many residents' concerns or issues. The only question that I've been getting, still as always, is handicap signs. Handicap signs, as stated, when you do apply for a handicap sign, your license plate number cannot go on a handicap sign. A handicap sign, if you apply for it, even though you're applying for it, if you are granted a handicap sign, anybody with a handicap placard or plate is allowed to park at that sign. If you have a handicap accessible driveway, you will not qualify for a handicap sign. Because even if you have multiple cars at your home, the person that has the handicapped placard or disabled placard or plate is the person that is supposed to be parking in the driveway, regardless of how many cars that you have. So I know what people say, well, we have multiple cars, but able-bodied people that have a car in that household need to go park elsewhere. The person that's disabled is the person that should be parking in that driveway. If it's a one-car driveway, that's the vehicle that should be parking in that driveway. So I try and stress that as much as possible. I know some people don't agree with that, but unfortunately, that's the way that it is. There's a lot of cars on the road. Our streets are very small. It'd be great if we were in a rural community where there was plenty of places to park, but unfortunately, we're not. But I can say one thing is, good thing we're not the town of Boston or the North End. It would be even worse. And I'm sure a lot of people can agree with that. It's not that it's that much better, but it's still that way. Item number 10 is just our reminder that the Commission on Disabilities office is working remotely. Residents can speak to staff from our 311 Constituent Service Center Monday through Friday. When you call our office at 781-286-8267, they will be able to answer most questions, but if they are unable to, or if you would like a call back from our department, please ask to be transferred to the Disabilities office voicemail and someone will get back to you as soon as possible. As always, please let us know if you would like something discussed or brought up and added to our monthly meeting agenda. You can let us know if you'd like to speak on any issues or concerns. The Commission is here to help and assist all the disabled residents and families of Revere. The next meeting via Zoom is going to be Tuesday, October 11th at 6 p.m. I'm just going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
All right, motion made by Mario and second by Jason. I just wanted to thank all my commission members for joining me tonight, and everyone have a great rest of September and beginning of October, and we will all meet in October. And of course, you'll all get my pain in the butt emails reminding you about the October meeting.
Thank you.
And
Bye,
have a
everybody.
good night.
Have a great day.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.